In this tutorial, I'll teach you step by step how to cut and sew a stylish Aso Oke pant. This Aso Oke pant is not just elegant, it is also trendy and perfect for both traditional and modern looks. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced tailor, you will learn how to transform rich Aso Oke fabric into stunning Aso Oke pants. The basic measurement you need to measure on any adult to be able to cut and sew this Aso Oke pants are the pant length, the hip, the waist, the thigh, and the crouch. You'll be needing crouch for front and then crouch for back. For me, I love to measure my crouch on my clients or whoever I'm sewing trouser for. I don't just use the formula for crouch to derive my crouch. I love to measure my crouch on whoever I'm sewing trouser for or jumpsuit for. That being said, my name is Oluwatosin. In case it's the first time you are seeing my channel, and please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So for this Aso Oke pants, I used this Aso Oke that comes in pieces, and majorly what I did was to, each of these Aso Oke is 6.5 inches wide, and I'll be using half inch to join it, like quarter inch to join it on one side and quarter inch to join it to the other side. So I would say I'm left with 6 inches wide for each of their Aso Oke. So what I did is I folded for front dress before folding for back, and to know the exact quantity of Aso Oke you will use, whatever the person's hip is, divide it by 2. After dividing it by 2, you'll be adding 4 inches allowance to your division or to whatever you've gotten, and then you divide that by 6. I'm saying 6 because each Aso Oke is 6 inches wide. So divide it by 6. Whatever number you get is the number of pieces of Aso Oke that you are using. I hope my explanation is clear. This is for just front. And then for the back, whatever it is, you are still going to add additional 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches allowance. So for the back now, you are using the hip divided by 2 plus 8 inches. And for the front, you are using the hip divided by 2 plus 4 inches. If you know you want your pant to have a lot of allowance, you should add more than 4 inches to the front and more than 8 inches to the back. You should add like 6 inches to the front and like 10 inches to the back. That way your pant will have a lot of allowance. For me, this Aso Oke does not have any allowance at all because I sew it in a way that there is no allowance at all. Another thing is, if you are using this Aso Oke that comes as pieces, the width is not always the same. This is 6.5, some might be 7.5, and some might be 8.5. So you need to check all these things so that you'll be sure of the number you are dividing, so that there won't be any form of mistake in your division or in the quantity of clothes that you are folding for your pants. Another thing is the length. This kind of Aso Oke comes together. You'll be the one to cut out the length that you want. It comes together very long. So the length of my trouser, because this trouser is going to have band that is 2 inches wide, I deducted 2 inches from the full length, and then I added 2 inches back to the full length. The 2 inches I added is for folding it down and then for joining the pant to the band. So whatever your length is, if your pant is going to have band, just deduct the band from it and then you add 2 inches allowance to it. That is if you are using Aso Oke for your pants. If at this point you are still with me and you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and do not just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new tutorial on this channel, because on this channel I upload sewing tutorials on daily basis. So after you've done all of this, what is next is to join this Aso Oke together. You join for front separately and then you'll be joining for the back separately. So after joining, you fold into 2 like this, right side facing right side. So this is for the front, and then I folded for the back. You can see it's on fold of 2 now. Then I folded for the back as well. This is for the back. So I'm going to be placing them on each other. The back would definitely be wider than the front because we did not add the same allowance. So after placing them on each other like this, what is next is
to measure the
So
crouch.
while you're measuring the crouch, you still not forget about the band. Like I said, this trouser has a band that is 2 inches wide. So I'll be placing the 2 inches up like this, and I'll proceed to measuring the crouch. This person's crouch is 12 at the front and 14 at the back. You know, back crouch is always more than front crouch. But at this point, I'm going to be measuring the 14, which is the back crouch. I'll be using the back crouch first before I'll later cut out 2 inches from it for the front crouch. So after measuring the crouch, you are going to mark that into a straight line. And what is next is to come back to divide the waistline by 4. Because this pant has elastic, there's no zip, the waistline has to be a bit loose so that it can pass the hip. So what I did was just to deduct 4 inches from my hip and divided it by 4 for the waistline, and then I added 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then from that crouch you measured, you are going to measure 1 inch upward, and on that 1 inch you'll be dividing the hip by 4 plus sewing allowance of 1 inch, and then 2 inches for extending the crouch. Like I said, if you want your pant to have a lot of allowance here and there, you should add more than 4 inches and more than 8 inches to the back and 4 inches to the front when you want to fold. So from the crouch, you're still going to measure 2 inches downward, and on that 2 inches, you'll be dividing the tie by 2, not by 4. Then you're going to be adding sewing allowance. For me, I used just 1 inch sewing allowance. And for the additional 4 inches that I added to the back, it's now on fold of two. That makes it 2 inches while on fold of two for the back panel. On the waist side, I need just 1 inch while on fold of two. So I deducted 1 inch from the waist. Then I'll be measuring the tie plus sewing allowance, and whatever I measure there, depending on how big you want the leg of your trouser to be, I'll be measuring the down too. So what I measured on the tie, I just deducted 4 inches from it, and then I marked it on the down. The next is for this downside, like the leg side of the trouser. I'm still going to reduce that 2 inches that is a fold of two to 1 inch, so that that 2 inches will only be left around the butt region. You can see that it's showing, like it's giving me that kind of butt shape. Now if you want to cut Aso Oke, I will advise that is either you use this odd scissors, this is like electric odd scissors, or you use that manual odd scissors that you put your scissors inside flame, like inside fire, before using it, so that your fabric is not fraying, especially when you are cutting ashoke style that you are not going to interface, like you won't put any form of interface in it, to not have lining, like trouser like this, like jacket, kind of like all those ashoke outfits that you will not use lining, you will not add stay to your ashoke. It's better you cut it with hot scissors, this electric hot scissors, or you put your scissors inside fire before cutting. So I used hot scissors for mine, and it's now time to reduce the front crouch by 2 inches. So I measured 2 inches on the front panel, and I reduced the front crouch, and I proceeded to cutting the rest of my trouser. So basically this is it for the cutting of this trouser. For this side falls on the part where I joined the ashoke. So instead of cutting it, what I did was to lose it. I loosed it back after I joined it before. So I loosed it back instead of cutting. If yours doesn't fall in between, like it doesn't fall on that part that you joined it, I will advise that you cut it. And for the front, I reduced the front crouch by 1 inch. Apart from the length, like apart from the crouch length, I still reduced it at the front by 1 inch. So the next is to start sewing. To sew, the first place I joined is the side. I just pinned that crouch. I didn't stitch the crouch. I just pinned it. So after that, I stitched the side so that I can sew my cargo pocket on top of it. And I made a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew that cargo pocket in another video. I've uploaded it already. Have you seen that tutorial? If you've not seen it, you should check it out. The link to it is currently showing up, and it will also be down in the description box. Then I stitched with just ½ inch, and I weaved everywhere. I weaved the crouch separately, I weaved where I stitched. You have to weave this ashoke, if not it will start fraying. After weaving, I shaped my trouser. Like I said, I used just half-inch allowance to sew every part I needed to sew on this trouser. So I shaped the side, I shaped the crotch region, and everything with half-inch. Then I stitched the band on top of it. In my next tutorial, I'm going to be uploading how I was able to sew this waistband because I don't want this video to get too lengthy. So I made a detailed tutorial on how I was able to sew this elastic waistband. So I fixed the waistband, and for the down I folded it inside with hemming gum. I weaved it and I folded it once with 1 inch with hemming gum. And don't forget that for this cargo pocket, the detailed tutorial is the link to it is down in the description box. So thank you for watching this tutorial. If it has been helpful to you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have any question, please ask me down in the comment section. As much as possible, you can help me share my tutorial and list your friends and loved ones. And if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe so that you'll be notified next time I upload a new tutorial on this channel. To watch the cutting and sewing tutorial of this cargo pockets, click on the box on the right side of your screen, and to watch the cutting and sewing tutorial of the elastic waistband, click on the box on the left side of your screen, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. These boxes take you straight to the tutorials, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.